All right, we're back now with Kara's Cures, and we're talking all about packing more protein into our routine. We constantly hear as women that, you know, if you want to keep your weight down, we got to emphasize the protein.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dana White is a cookbook author and registered dietitian nutritionist. She's here with some ways to give our daily protein intake that boost that we need.
Yes.
Hello. How are you? I'm so happy to be here. Yes, protein. Everyone stresses out about protein.
Well, and it's all you see on your feed now that we have to eat so much. Do we really need a gram per body weight?
No, that is excessive. Right now, everyone's personal needs are a little bit different, but I always see that recommendation of gram per pound, and for most people, that's way too much.
Okay.
So my best trick is really, instead of counting grams and driving yourself crazy, try to have some protein at every meal and snack.
Okay.
And if you can do that, you're probably getting enough.
So keeping that balance then.
Yes, and what a lot of people do is they barely eat any protein, and then at dinner they have this massive portion, and that's not really the best way to do it. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are guilty of that. So I want to show you some easy ways to incorporate some protein, and we have some animal-based options, some plant-based options to make it less stressful.
Yes, and this is, by the way, it's a healthy, quick, and easy college cookbook, because you do a lot of college athletes, Quinnipiac, and local high schools.
Go Bobcats.
But if moms, I always say, like, a guy in a dorm room can do this, then busy moms are a good
Well,
job.
and I use these recipes all the time. Don't be fooled. They were definitely inspired by my college students and some of my experiences, but I go to these recipes. I make this salad, for example, all the time. Okay, so first up, you know, who doesn't love a little air fryer recipe? And I think bagels, most people think, oh, okay, I'm trying to, you know, watch my weight. These are air fryer bagel bites, and they're made with Greek yogurt.
Oh my gosh.
And I gotta tell you, they're like on repeat in my household.
What are they?
So basically, it's 2 ingredients. You take self-rising flour. If you don't have that, you can add some leavener to regular all-purpose flour and Greek yogurt.
That's
and that
it?
is
These are
literally
delicious.
it. And then you make this dough, roll it in some everything bagel seasoning, and pop them in your air fryer.
I have all of this at home right now.
So easy, right? And again, it's, you know, you're adding about, a cup of Greek yogurt, which we have here, has almost 20 grams of protein.
Wow.
So again, that would be plenty for you to have it as a meal. So you have the bites, or you have it on the side, make a little yogurt parfait, done.
My son made those earlier this week, and he's obsessed with them.
My daughter makes them all the time. And again, it's like a really easy, sort of safe recipe for anybody to make in the kitchen. Okay, so cottage cheese is my next. Cottage cheese is having a moment, right? It's all over social media.
Everything is cottage cheese.
We've always really liked cottage cheese, right? It's really not that new.
Right now.
Cottage cheese is a really good protein source.
Yes, it is an amazing, even more so. So this is an equivalent amount of protein.
Half a cup of cottage cheese has as much protein as a cup of Greek yogurt.
Yes. And it depends on the brand. You have to check labels, but yes, I mean, this you're already tipping the scales at about 15 grams of protein in a very small amount. It's, again, an egg. I love eggs. That's like my when I post-workout go-tos. A lot of people are mixing cottage cheese and scrambled eggs. So again, there's 7 grams per egg, which is a great start. I usually have about 2 eggs. You add a little bit of cottage cheese to that, you're going to boost the protein even further.
Just add the cottage cheese and scramble.
And scramble it. Yes, again, all over TikTok, right? And again, it's a nice idea. I mean, again, you could totally do the eggs by itself. You could do the cottage cheese on the side.
Right.
Cottage cheese makes a great snack. I mean, you can really sort of be flexible with this, but I've seen a lot of that lately, those combinations, and I love that.
And
I think that's fun.
I keep seeing 30 grams of protein in the morning for women.
Yeah, I mean, 30 grams per meal is actually a good target. And again, not every meal. Instead of having 90 at dinner, you want to spread it out. And breakfast tends to be tricky. I think people struggle the most at breakfast in how to get some of that higher protein in.
But what we don't want to do, both for our kids to feel good and for women, if we're trying to not gain too much weight as we get a little older, we don't want to be shoving just empty carbs in our mouth. That's the problem where we're losing muscle and gaining fat.
Right, and leftover goldfish from your kids.
Right, and that's where we all have to be careful. But I think, too, protein is more satisfying. It's slower digesting, so you can have some healthy carbohydrates along with protein and make a much more balanced meal.
This feels like just bread. There's no flour.
There is flour. And you can make these gluten-free as well. If you use a gluten-free baking mix, it works really. If you don't have an air fryer, pop them in the oven. But the air fryer, I think they're crispy. Okay, so let's just talk about like fish, chicken, obviously for a minute. Again, I think most people think it has to be this massive portion. This is a 4-ounce raw piece of salmon. It will cook down to about 3 ounces, right? Because it shrinks when we cook it. That has about 20 grams of protein. Right there.
So that's a great lunch.
Dietitians used to say a deck of cards was 3 ounces, but nobody uses decks of cards anymore. So we say iPhone. So like a phone looks like a smartphone.
An iPhone is
about 4 ounces, right? So again, if you're looking for, you have to get on a scale and weigh it and measure it. You can just eyeball it. But again, it's a reasonable portion. It's not this massive amount. And there's a 20 grams starting point at your meal, and then you can add some other things to
You can
it.
add some other things to it because we always think, okay, well, here's tofu if you don't want
Right.
fish.
So plant-based, a little bit lower in protein, but soy is an amazing complete protein that has the same amino acid profile as meat or fish. So again, I think a lot of people think, oh, tofu. I mean, tofu can be delicious and amazing. And again, I mean, this is at least a 15-gram piece of tofu right there.
Wow.
Okay, we only have a minute left.
Okay, lastly, chia seeds. Again, again, they're kind of having a moment. Add them to your smoothies, your oatmeal. 2 tablespoons, 7 grams of protein.
Wow.
So again, you're looking for that little boost in your overnight oats or something like that. Really easy way
So
to do
here's
it.
your 20, and if you just scoop some chia seeds on your salad, you've got there's your 30.
Speaking of
almost.
salad.
Or the chickpeas, right? So again,
Yeah.
got it. Canned beans, super affordable, easy way to get some plant-based protein. This is my go-to. This is a no lettuce chopped salad from the cookbook. Really, really easy. All we're gonna do is finish it with salt and pepper. You can use these are literally cucumbers from my garden, some olives, some peppers, and you have an easy, again, boosted with a ton of plant-based
Yummy.
protein from those chickpeas.
Put a piece of chicken on top if you
Half
want.
a cup, 7 grams of protein.
Or a piece of salmon.
Half a cup is 7 grams of protein.
Yep, yep.
So I would eat at least a
So
cup.
again,
That's
add that with your
great.
salmon or your chicken or your tofu, and you're good to go.
This is awesome. Thank you for enlightening us with
It
all
doesn't
these
have to be
options.
so hard, right?
It doesn't have to be so hard.
Doesn't have to be stressful.
You can follow Dana White on Instagram. We're going to take a deeper dive on the Kara's Cures podcast, like just a little bit more about why we need protein, how to get it. But this was a great visual to start off with.
Absolutely.
You can follow her at danawhitenutrition.com. Follow her on Instagram and Facebook. And I hope you'll watch the Kara's Cures show on The Wax. You can also find it on WFSB Plus, all the episodes.
Can't
Thank
wait.
you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for having
Dana.
me.
Yeah.
I already feel packed with protein.
I know. It's not as hard as we thought.
All right, still ahead. The kids are getting ready to head back to school.
Our friend and fun mom, Kate Terrashano is here with her son, Anthony. That's what Scott would say. You're going to share some lunchbox ideas. We're making it easy for you as we get back into the grind. Great day, Connecticut. We'll be right back. Stay with us.